Alrighty, good afternoon, Spartans. Thanks so much for joining us and spending your lunch hour here today for our next Q&A about Money Matters, all things related to money and finances to help you make a successful transition to UNCG. Got a great panel here today, excited to answer your questions. So to kick things off, my name is Austin McKim. I am an Associate Director in New Student Transitions and First Year Experience. I'll be your host for today. I also have the chance to oversee our SOAR program, so we hope if you've attended SOAR, you had a good experience or you're looking forward to it coming up this week. But I'll let our panelists introduce themselves. I'll start with Deborah.
Hi, everybody. Glad you're able to join us today. My name is Deborah Slade. I'm the Assistant Director for Outreach in the Financial Aid Office. And I will be here to answer all of your questions about financial aid. And hopefully I'll see some of you in the fall during some of the FYE sessions on financial literacy. So glad to see you here.
Hi, my name is Yajide Hicks. I am the Student Employment Coordinator. I work in the Student Employment Office that is housed in Career and Professional Development. We hope that you'll come and visit us soon. And I also hope that you had a chance to view a little bit about student employment in your SOAR experience. If not, I hope you get a chance to when you participate in SOAR. I look forward to answering your questions today.
Hi, everybody. My name is Melissa. I am the Financial Literacy Coordinator for TRIO programs here at UNCG. So I teach students all the things you probably wish you learned in high school, budgeting, saving, credit, investments, all of those things that we need to know but never get taught. Looking forward to all your questions and to seeing you all in the fall.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jennifer Hamilton. I'm the Supervisor of Student Accounts in the Cashiers and Student Accounts Office. Looking forward to seeing you all in the fall semester and answering any questions you have about your bills and your payments due.
Alrighty, to start things off, I'm going to make a couple announcements really quickly to show you how the event will run. So you should see my screen here. You can text us at 1-336-541-6939. Oops, Augustine, I forgot to introduce yourself. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I got too excited.
A little excited. Hello, Fusion Spartans. My name is Augustine Saldana. I'm a senior here, majoring in kinesiology, and I'm also part of the SOS Spartan orientation staff. So hopefully I get to see you guys during our small groups for the rest of the orientations.
Thanks, Augustine. Sorry, I got too excited with questions, but Augustine's here to provide the students' perspective. So if you've got questions specifically about that, he can be here to answer those. So again, as a reminder, you can text us questions at 1-336-541-6939. We'll be answering questions behind the scenes as well as answering some questions live too. So again, make sure you text us your questions that you have for the session there. A couple other reminders I want to go over with you is first, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you make your SOAR reservation. We've got just a few sessions left for the end of June. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you confirm your intent to enroll in Spartan Link, head to the new student portal and make that SOAR reservation so you can attend those small groups that Augustine mentioned, and as well as get access to all the different resources with these different areas to review all the important information. If you've got SOAR coming up, before you watch the Before You SOAR video series in the new student portal, that'll give you some important information to prepare you for your SOAR session, as well as information about how to complete some of those key important to do items too. If you haven't done so already, there's limited spots left for the housing grant. So if you want to live on campus, you can apply for that housing grant in Artemis. When you apply for housing, it's a $1,500 housing grant that gets applied to your bill. So if you haven't done so already, there's limited spots left. Please be sure to do that ASAP. Again, we've got the Your First Year texting line. As I mentioned, that number is 1-336-541-6939. You can text us questions. You can also save that number. That texting line is available all throughout the school year for you to text questions, and the Wi-Fi team will get back to you with answers as soon as possible. And lastly, follow Wi-Fi on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They're a great resource for you. They share a lot of information related to these topics we'll talk about today with important dates and deadlines, as well as other things happening at UNCG. So please make sure you're following Wi-Fi on social media. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. We're going to get right into questions. Let's see what questions we've got flowing in. Perfect. So to start, Jennifer, this question is for you. I'm sure it's at the top of everyone's mind is when and how do they access their student bill?
All right. So as of July the 8th, we're going to create those bills and upload it to your student account center. We're going to send to you students an email to your preferred email address to let you know that that bill has been created. So when you get that email, you'll go into your UNC Genie account, click on the Student Account Center link, and you'll be able to view your fall billing statement. Again, that will be July the 8th. Those bill emails will go to your preferred email address to make sure you have that updated. You can also sign up a parent as an authorized user so that those authorized users will also get those email announcements. And you can sign your parents or whoever you want as an authorized user, sign them up in your Student Account Center.
Awesome. Thanks, Jennifer. A really good question that came in. I'm not sure who is the best person to answer it, so I'm just going to pose it to the group. So we got a question that if we work somewhere that offers tuition reimbursement, what are the steps that we need to take with UNCG?
Okay, so I'll help with that. So tuition reimbursement. You're probably more on your own. So the cashier's office works with third-party counselors sending bills to vendors. So if you have a vendor that is upfront wanting to pay your bill, they need an invoice from the university to pay your bill, you'll contact us with that information, and that will go through third-party billing. However, if it's the flip side and you're just getting a reimbursement, you may be working with the vendor or the organization on your own to submit receipts or whatever the vendor is requesting to prove what you paid to the university so that they can reimburse you directly.
Awesome. Thanks, Jennifer. Deborah, we got a question about FAFSA. Folks want to know, is it too late if they haven't done so already to file a FAFSA?
No, it's not too late to file the FAFSA. You can still get it done in order to get aid for the upcoming academic year. So I do encourage you, if you haven't completed it, go to FAFSA.gov, get it done right now. The school code for UNCG is 002976. But I do encourage you to go ahead and get it done as quickly as possible. And once we get your FAFSA data, we will send you an email to let you know the next steps that you need to take. Try to make sure you use a data retrieval tool. I know I may be talking about information that's a little above your head, but once you get into the FAFSA, there are going to be some questions related to income and tax information. And you can have the information pulled directly in from the IRS, and that will speed up that whole process. In the event that there are some delays in getting your FAFSA processed, you want to make sure that you're looking at other options to pay your bill. And I'm sure Jennifer has some things that she can offer you in the way of payment plans and that kind of thing on how to pay your bills. So I won't talk too much about that because I'm sure there's a question about that coming up. But yeah, it's not too late. Go ahead and get it done.
Awesome. So again, make sure you get that FAFSA in ASAP if you haven't done so already. That's the best way to make sure you get that financial aid award. Melissa, we got a question, folks. You know, they're hearing about flex and refunds and their meal plans, housing, all that kind of stuff. So what's the best way to balance it? What tips do you have around balancing all those different, sources of income that students are going to have?
Definitely. The best tip that I could probably give is to look at how long you need to make that money last. So your flex is usually for the whole semester. So you probably need to make it last that 5 or 6 months that you've got it. So take that whole amount, budget it between those months, and go with money that way, and stick to it. Stick to what you say you're going to do. If it's going to be $100 a month, that's your budget. Stick to it. But no, you can always make adjustments later if you do slip up. And same thing with any refunds you get or any other, student employment money, whatever that might be. Look at how long you need to make it last until a payment is due, something else is needing your money. Look how long you need to make it last and divide it up amongst that time so that when the time does come, you've got it ready and you're not trying to scrounge around for some money that you've already spent.
Thanks, Melissa. Augustine, do you want to provide a student perspective? What tips do you have from a student budgeting perspective?
Yeah, definitely. So basically what a tip that I would do is, like Melissa was saying, kind of budget and kind of foresee what how much money you have like in flex, and foresee like, hey, how much do I want to spend a week? Do I want to spend $100? Do I want to spend $50? Do I want to use my meal swipes another one day, flex another? So it's basically just budgeting, having self-control. I can give you a student's perspective. My first semester here at UNCG, I spent probably like $150 in Chick-fil-A the first week because I was going either every lunch, every breakfast, just getting Chick-fil-A. and I was left with about $500 of flex left for the next weeks till the end of the semester. So I had to make that adjustment. So basically, definitely having that self-control, knowing when to spend, when to not. And yeah, pretty much that's a good tip that I would say for incoming freshmen.
We know you wanted all the Chick-fil-A sandwiches, but as Augustine mentioned, you got to budget it out. Make sure you keep that flex last for the semester. You're gonna want that coffee during exam week for sure. So Yajide, you got to have money to spend money. So how early can students apply for jobs and where they go to do it?
So once you complete SOAR and register for classes, you'll have access to Handshake, which is our university's job board system. You can then sign on using your UNCG credentials and apply for jobs. Before you apply, you'll need to upload a resume and work with our career development team in career and professional development to get that resume approved and apply to jobs.
Now, does Handshake have both on-campus and off-campus, or is that only for on-campus jobs?
Yes, we have on-campus positions available, off-campus positions available, and community service positions available as well.
Awesome. So again, you'll get Handshake, go in, apply for those jobs. For example, the SOS job that Augustine is doing now is a job we post in Handshake. It's a paid position. So there's tons of jobs out there. Feel free to go ahead and start getting into those as soon as you can. Deborah, we had a FAFSA question come through for you. So the student said they completed FAFSA, but haven't heard anything back after confirmation that it was complete. How should they proceed with next steps?
That's a really good question, because sometimes you do get the confirmation. For example, if you filed your FAFSA on Friday, you will get a confirmation that it's completed, but the school may not have received your data yet. Typically, it takes us a week or more to get your data, depending on when in the week you filed. So be patient. If it's been 2 weeks or more since you filed, 2 suggestions: go back to FAFSA.gov, check to see if there is a student aid report on file for you. Check to see which schools you've listed, because it may be that you maybe mistyped the school or you didn't add this UNCG. If you find that UNCG is not listed, please go ahead and add at that point. You can add us at by entering our school code 002976. If you looked at your student aid report and UNCG is listed and it's been more than 2 weeks and you haven't heard anything, send us an email at finaid@uncg.edu and include your UNCG ID, and we will follow up and research to see why we don't have your file. And then we'll reach out to you and let you know if there's anything else that you need to do.
So again, finaid@uncg.edu if you need to follow those steps and get in contact with financial aid. I do want to say hello, welcome those who may have just been now joining us. Welcome to our next live Q&A Money Matters. Feel free to put questions in our texting line. Again, that number is 1-336-541-6939, and we'll get those questions answered for you. Next one, Jennifer, I'm coming back to you, is that when and how do students pay their bill?
All right, so once you get that billing statement, July 8th, you can pay immediately. You'll have a payment deadline of July 29th. So you'll go into the Student Account Center again when you get that email on July 8th to view your bill and make your payment arrangements by the end of July. July 29th is the deadline.
Awesome. So Augustine, I'm gonna leave this question for you. Folks are asking, we've mentioned Flex a couple of times. What is Flex and what does that actually mean?
Yeah, so Flex is basically our monetary system here at UNCG that involves anything food related, so with the dining system. So basically, there's 2 categories that dining has. You have meal swipes, which gets you into the CAF, and then you have your Flex option. Here at UNCG, UNCG offers a lot of fast food restaurants and just little fast food, not fast food, but just eating places to go that also take Flex. So for example, like I was saying, Chick-fil-A, that's one of our most popular restaurants here at UNCG that we have. That Flex money, along with your dining package, you're able to use that Flex money to get the Chick-fil-A meal, your 4-count chicken minis, if you like, and It's just a recurring balance that diminishes as much as you keep swiping your flex money. So it's monetary UNCG food money in a way.
So again, you can learn more information in your Canvas course or the virtual store webpage on the Spartan Dining section of those resources. It lays out the different meal plan options, the flex options where you can use your flex and whatnot too. So I encourage you to go there. All right, I'm just trying to see if there's any questions that have come in. So Melissa, how do you find a work-life balance and, using your money and not spending too much, but trying to save out? So, talk to us a little about that balance.
Definitely. I will say that having a work-life balance is probably one of the things that everyone struggles with. Even as adults, it's hard to find a balance between wanting a really nice paying job and then wanting to have a nice life and enjoy things and do things. Or, maybe you're a student and you have a student job, so you don't make a lot of money, but you also want to live a life that is fun while you're in college. So really, you've got to kind of have a conversation with yourself about what is it that I need to be happy? What can I accept from my life and the money that I have? And how can I make the money that I'm getting fit into the life that I want to live? So what things might I need to say no to say yes to this? Or how can I, find a side hustle to supplement my movie, addiction that I've got? I've got to go to the movies every week. Finding different ways to kind of meet the needs you have to be fulfilled in your life while also not devoting every moment of your life to working. It's really a conversation you've got to kind of have with yourself and sit down and be like, all right, here's what I want, here's how I'm going to get it, and here's how my life is going to look.
Again, that work-life balance, even we all work full-time, we have a work-life balance. I always take my post-store vacation in July, which is I'm counting down the days to that. So Deborah, we got another financial aid question that came in regards to rewards. So when and how do students accept those rewards, and what's the deadline for it?
Right. The financial aid award appears in your UNC Genie account for our new students. Some of you may receive a paper letter in the mail, but you still need to log into your UNC Genie account and click on the financial aid tab, and you'll have a couple of options there. We encourage you to review the award, do the award overview to see exactly what's being offered. And then you have the accept award offer tab, where you can actually accept the aid that's being offered. Now, we try to simplify things for you. So if you're being offered scholarships and grants, in most cases, you won't have to do anything to accept that. That's going to be automatically accepted because it's free money. And quite frankly, if you decline that, I definitely want to have a talk with you. However, you still have the option of accepting or declining loans. And that is something that you will need to do, take action in order to have the loans paid to your account if you decide you want to use a student loan. So that's it. Again, in your UNC Genie account, click on the financial aid tab and look under award overview, and you'll be able to see what's being offered. And then you also have an opportunity to accept. One other note about the loans, they are offered. You do not have to accept all that's offered. So make sure you're looking over your bill when you get that on July 8th. And you can wait until July 8th after your bill is posted to make a decision on whether or not to accept the loans. You can, at that point, determine how much you might need to cover your charges. And then you can make the acceptance there. If you realize you don't need it, you can decline it. Even if you decline the loans up front, you still have an opportunity to later come back and request some of the loan funds that were offered. All you need to do is let us know. Again, you can send us an email. And I think Austin gave you the email address earlier. It's finaid@uncg.edu. Or you can give us a phone call at 336-334-5702 between 9 and 4. And make sure you enter your UNCG ID and PIN so that we can make sure we can open up your file and talk to you specifically about your account. But yeah, that's just go into Genie. If you have any questions, just give us a holler. We'll be happy to help you out.
Awesome. UNC Genie is a system you'll be spending a lot of time with. So and you can find the UNC Genie. There's on our UNCG homepage, there's a little Genie icon. You can click that to log in. So please, if you haven't gone into Genie yet, please make sure you're getting comfortable with it. I'll ask a question here and I'll start the answer and I'll let anyone else add on to it. So we got a question about meal plans. Is it necessary for each student to have a meal plan? So all students living on campus, it is required to have a meal plan. Again, you've got various different options of those on the Spartan Dining website that you can look at. But if you are living on campus, it is required. If you're living off campus, it's not required, but you can also purchase a plan that gives you a certain amount of flex or certain different meals depending on what best fits you. Does anyone have anything to add about meal plans that I may have missed?
I'll add a little bit there.
Sure.
In terms of, trying to decide what meal plan you want, or like, you're looking at all these options and you're like, how do I know how much flex I want to have? It's really kind of a guessing game that first round when you're trying to figure out about what meal plan to pick. Generally, you want to go with something that's a little balanced. You're probably not going to eat at the caf every single day of every semester. It's not realistic. You're going to want that Chick-fil-A or that Salsaritas every now and then. You're going to want it. Trust me. So try to pick something that gives you a little bit of wiggle room to kind of figure that stuff out, because then you're using your flex money for that and not your personal real money for those expenses when they do come up. So kind of look at them a little critically, see kind of like how you eat now. Maybe you love Chick-fil-A, so maybe you need more flex than meal swipes.
Awesome.
And of course, billing wise, whatever you select, that will go on your student account, and that will be part of the bill that you'll pay to the cashier's office. So just keep that in mind.
Awesome. Yajude, I'm coming back to you. We got a question about federal work study. What are those job opportunities on campus, and how do you know if you qualify for those?
So yes, those job opportunities, there are federal work study opportunities on campus as well as off campus through our federal work study community service program. They are all paid opportunities, and you can check your status, the status of your federal work study award via UNC Genie or by contacting the financial aid office.
All right, our texting line is busy. We love to see the questions coming in. So a question about payment plans. Who can a student talk to about a payment plan, and what's the most efficient way to pay off loans to avoid accruing interest?
So I will talk about payment plans. When you get that billing statement notification on July 8th, you can go into your student account center when you're viewing your bill and set up a payment plan at that time. The plan that's going to be available at that time through July 16th is a 5-month payment plan. So it's going to look at your total balance. It will calculate your charges. It will look at whatever approved financial aid you have coming in and calculate that into what you actually owe out of pocket. And that inline balance is what you'll have set up on the payment plan. So again, the 5-month payment plan will be available from the time you get your bill through July 16th. You'll owe 5 equal monthly payments. There is a $35 setup fee associated with that. You will pay the first installment when you set up the payment plan along with that setup fee. If you wait until later into July 17th through the 29th of July, you'll have a 4-month payment plan available. There's also a $35 fee for that plan. Again, 4 equal installments would be due on that plan. So that's set up in your student account center through your UNC Genie portal.
And I'll speak to the loan question because that is part of the financial aid packet. And as I said before, when you're offered student loans, you have the option of accepting the loans. Repayment on the loans actually does not start until 6 months after you are no longer enrolled, at least half time, or after you've graduated. So you have some time to spend on that, but you can make payments on the loan while you're enrolled. So that's actually a good question. There are 2 types of loans. So depending on the type of loan that you're accepted, if you have the unsubsidized loan, that's going to have interest accruing on it. So it's a good idea to at least pay the interest while you're in school, because the interest that you don't pay gets added to the total amount of the loan that you borrowed. So you're going to end up paying a lot more when you start your repayment after school. But you can make additional payments beyond the interest. There is no penalty for making early payments or even paying the loan off in its entirety. The subsidized loan does not have any interest accruing on it while you're in school. So that's an interest-free loan for the time that you're enrolled. So if you have both loans and you have to have a choice of which loan to make payments on, make payments toward the unsubsidized loan, making sure that you pay the interest and making sure that, you know, any additional payments you want to make, you're paying toward the principal of that loan to reduce the amount that's owed. But that's an excellent question. Yeah, it's never a bad idea to make payments towards your loans if you can. Even better, if you have money to pay your loans, I would suggest not taking the loan and setting up a payment plan. If your bill is low enough that you can do that. So the loan options are there if you need them, but they're not required. So if you can set up a payment plan rather than taking out a loan, then certainly we encourage you to do that. And again, call us. We'll be happy to help you look through your aid options to see what might be the better option for you, and we'd be happy to help you walk through that decision.
Deborah, I'm coming back to you. Another FAFSA-related question. So, a student asks, if we accept a FAFSA subsidized loan and using a payment plan to pay off tuition, how can we pay the loan back?
Yeah, just kind of going back to, circling back to some of the things that we mentioned before. If you have a subsidized loan, that's probably the best loan that you could possibly have, if you have to have a loan, because there is no interest accruing on that. Again, if you are able to set up a payment plan to pay the balance of your bill without the loan, then that would be our suggestion to do that. However, if you do take out a loan and you still have a small balance to pay on your bill and you decide to use a payment plan, that's perfectly acceptable as well. You can still make payments toward that subsidized loan. Remember, you're paying the principal, so whatever you pay, you're paying the loan off. At the beginning of your loan process, you accept the loan, and then the loan gets certified and assigned to a lender or loan servicer, and you'll get that information after you've accepted the loan. So you'll have the information on who is servicing your loan, and you'll make your payments directly to that loan servicer. And once again, if you're having questions about that, if you need some help walking through that or navigating that process, just give us a call or send us an email. We'll be happy to help you figure out how to identify your loan servicer so you can start to make those payments. It's going to take about 45 to 60 days after your loan's dispersed before that information is available. So you'll have to wait a bit for that, but we'll be glad to help you.
Great. Melissa, I'm going to send this question to you. I'll let others chime in. So a really good question. So how much should a student budget for books and any other non-tuition class cost?
That is a tough question. And there's not a super exact number answer for that, because depending on what kind of major you're in, you're going to have different costs for your books and the supplies you'll need, that kind of stuff. So really, you're going to want to look at your syllabus and all those things, see what your teachers are asking of you, look around to see where else you can find those books. Maybe buying them new isn't the best option. Maybe renting them somewhere is a different option that might fit you better. So look at different options for those things and kind of make a real estimate for how those costs might affect you and how you might be able to pay for them. A lot of those things aren't super expensive. Sometimes you can get books for a couple dollars. Sometimes they're on the upper end of $100 or more. So really look at the kind of classes you're taking to see what kind of textbooks you might need and what kind of supplies you might need for those.
The UNCG bookstore has a lot of great options in terms of renting in particular. So you don't have to buy every book new. A lot of times you can rent a book option or has an online version that may be a little bit cheaper too. So the UNCG bookstore does a great job of giving those options. Augustine, we got another meal plan question. I'm going to turn it over to you. Did you want to add something to that previous question, Augustine?
Oh yeah, I was going to say that the bookstore also offers price matches to accredited vendors. So if you find a textbook cheaper from an accredited vendor, the bookstore will also price match that option for that textbook.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. It's a great tip for students. So meal plan question: is the allergen-free station, the dining hall, available for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Yes, it's always there. There's also They also have a dietary restriction station at the CAF. So there's always that option. But then there's also a registered dietitian that is there on campus. So if there's like a particular allergen or food recommendation that you need, the dietitian works with you to provide those needs.
Our dining staff does a great job of giving variety of options and being very accommodating to allergies and dietary restrictions. So again, as Augustine mentioned, as a registered dietitian, just be sure, ask somebody when you go to the dining hall to make sure that they've got what you need as well. All right. I'm going to say just one more time, welcome those who may have just joined us. If you've got questions, you can text us at 1-336-541-6939. Again, we'll be happy to help get your questions answered. Pausing to see as we go through the texting service here. Yajide, got a question about working on campus. So how does a student qualify to work on campus?
So a student would need to be registered for at least 6 credit hours to qualify to work on campus. They also have to be in good financial standing with the university, and they cannot drop below the university's minimum GPA requirement.
So once you get those classes, keep in good standing with the university and all things, and there's lots of opportunities to work on campus. Jennifer, a payment question for you. Want to know if they can pay the bill at one time, all of it at one time, and then do we have to pay that $35 fee when we do that?
Yeah, so if you pay your bill in full by July 29th, there's no extra fee involved. The $35 setup fee is only if you opt into one of the payment plans. Again, either the 5-month or the 4-month plan both require that $35. But paying in full, just do that in full by July 29th.
And I know we said a bunch of dates related to cashiers, but the cashiers has information both on our virtual store webpage and the Canvas course with all those dates too. So if you haven't had a chance to write down the dates that Jennifer's mentioned, you can go back to there to reference both of those places and look for that additional information. Jennifer, when you got another payment question, as you can imagine, since that time is coming soon.
Yes.
So for commuter students in particular, does the parking permit fee need to be paid in the student account by July 29th as well?
Yes, anything that reflects on your student account bill as of July 8th will be due by July 29th. So if you're late in signing up for the parking permit and that is a late charge, it won't be on your account by then. In that case, you will get a billing statement. We send out monthly billing statements throughout the semester. So starting in September, if there is a charge such as the parking that's added late, once classes begin, you'll be billed that during this fall semester.
Perfect. So again, you can sign up for a parking pass after July 7th, and that will go back on your bill at a later time. Augustine, I'm going to pose this question to you. So as a new student, what is one thing you wish you knew related to budgeting, finances, money, etc., that you would tell new students that you wish you would have known a few years ago when you were a new student?
Definitely that UNCG offers a lot of resources, like financially here. There's one thing that we haven't talked about in the session is the scholarships, UNCG scholarships. We have a Spartan scholarship system, SSS, that's what it's called, that students generally make a general application, and then they also make applications like towards their major and stuff. And that system matches you with your respective scholarships at UNCG to try to find the best fit. So there's definitely a lot of scholarships out there that UNCG offers, a lot of like the work-life balances for that Melissa and Yaj, I think, Willie has talked about. But definitely that's one of the good tips that just UNCG offers a lot of resources. The help is there. You just have to find it. The worst that can happen is I don't know. It won't happen. You guys will find the resources that you guys will need. It's there for you. UNCG is here to support you guys financially, academically, in all types of way. So just try to find those resources. I know it could be intimidating that first semester. You're still trying to come out, trying to find your niche, your place in the school. But just try to explore, try to find those resources, ask. Man, they're here for you.
Awesome. Yes. So please use those resources. They're here for you. We're going to make sure you're successful in all things here at UNCG. Yajide, we got another good question, kind of following up from your previous question, is regarding the work on campus. What's that minimum GPA requirement?
I believe the university's minimum GPA requirement is a 2.0, if I'm not mistaken. So as long as you stay above that, you're good.
Yep, that good academic standing is a minimum 2.0 GPA. So to work on campus, you got to be in good academic standing, which means you have to maintain a 2.0 cumulative GPA. So be sure. Good news is you start with a 4.0, so you start high, start at the top. You want to keep it as high as possible. And I'm pausing here to see if any more questions have come in. I guess we mentioned scholarships. So where can students go to find scholarships?
Well, Augustine did a great job pointing students to the S3 system of the Spartan Scholarship System. That typically comes online on I think January 15th. And we typically will send out email messages to our continuing students. So, hey, guess what? You guys are going to be considered continuing students because you'll be entering into the spring semester. So that application process stays open for a couple of months. And that's a great way to supplement your financial aid. Also, there are lots of outside resources or private resources. I encourage you to go to Spartan Central. .uncg.edu. That is a centralized web page for all things financial aid, cashiers, student accounts, and registrar's office. And if you click on the link for student eligibility, you will see some links within that for private scholarship searches. So again, applying for financial aid and finding financial resources is a process that will continue all 4 years that you're in school. You don't stop now. Now that you're in, it is something that you will need to continue to do as you're continuing your educational pursuit. So look for outside resources, look for resources within your community. Your parents may have employers that provide tuition reimbursement or scholarship opportunities. There are lots of opportunities, and we just encourage you to look for those at every turn. And don't leave anything on the table. As we say, don't leave any money on the table. Filing your FAFSA early is probably the key to making sure that you're going to get the most financial aid that you're eligible to receive. And that includes any state funds before they run out, also, as well as any institutional funds. So yeah, follow Augustine's advice. Look for the money in all of those places. He's been here. He's your guide. He knows how to do that.
So Deborah, if folks do have scholarships, particularly from outside organizations, local communities, et cetera, how does that go with submitting it to you all and with your financial aid?
Yeah, that's great. And I hope everybody has a ton of those scholarships to come in. So if you do have a private scholarship, maybe from your high school or your church or maybe a local community group, please instruct them to send the check to the financial aid office. Our mailing address is on our website. But have them mail that to us along and include in that your full name and your UNCG ID. If they've made the check out to you and the university and you have the check in hand, go ahead and sign that before you mail it to us. And if you don't, it's okay. We can still work with that. What will happen is we'll get that, we'll add it to your overall financial aid packet or your financial aid award, and they will send that check over to Jennifer, over to the cashiers and student accounts office, and they will apply that directly to your bill. So that doesn't matter what time that comes in. So if they send it in tomorrow, it will get be in reserve and be noted on your bill when you see that posted on July 8th. So make sure that they have, again, your full name, your UNCG ID, that they mail it to the financial aid office. And another key point is they need to let us know if that check is for fall semester only, or if it's to be divided between the fall and spring semesters. If they don't give us instruction, we will divide it between the fall and spring. So the fall half will pay, and then the other half will be held in reserve to be applied to your spring charges.
And I'm going to add one thing to what Miss Deborah said. If it is a check that's payable to both you and the university and you do not sign it before turning it over, once the cashier's office gets it, we will actually send you an email to let you know that we have that check and it has to be endorsed before we can process it. So we'll send you an email to let you know that we have it, to please come into the cashier's office to endorse that check. And then at that point, once it's endorsed, we'll apply it to your account.
If you're getting those scholarships and people giving you a check, make sure you sign it so you make sure it gets accurately on your account and it gets that cost down. Following up a little bit, so the S3 scholarships, are they fully awarded for the entire year, or is it just one semester for the S3 scholarships?
The S3 scholarships are awarded, so we'll open the application in January of 2022. And those scholarships will be awarded for the next academic year, and it will be for the academic year. Typically, they are for the fall and spring semesters for that specific academic year. They may not be renewable, so that means you'll have to apply again the next year in order to be considered for other scholarships. But yeah, it is for the academic year, not just for a specific semester. So again, just to be clear, when you apply in January of 2022 for those scholarships, you won't actually receive the scholarships on your award until the fall 2022 and spring 2023 academic year. Wow, that's a bunch of years there. But yeah, that they are for the academic year, the next academic year.
We've opened up the scholarship question bank here. Another one kind of following up with scholarships. So for the scholarships, if they have some money left in the account, can they withdraw it?
Repeat that again.
Yeah, sorry. For the scholarships, if they have some money left over, can they withdraw that from their account?
I'm going to let Jennifer handle that one.
Yeah, so once we apply the payment to the student account, if there is an overpayment. So for example, you've already paid your bill, we get a scholarship, we pay it to your account, there's a credit. Or you have other financial aid or other resources that pay your bill, and this scholarship helps overpay your bill. Once we show that overpayment or a credit on your account, we do process refunds automatically. Starting the week before classes start for the fall semester, we will start the fall refund process. So again, if we see that you have an overpayment on your account, we owe you money, we'll automatically process that. We do a refund process every week throughout the semester. So once we see a credit on your account, we'll issue the refund to you.
Perfect. We got about 15 minutes left again. So if you've got questions, again, 1-336-541-6939, go ahead and text us with questions. Melissa, I'm going to ask a similar question you added, Augustine. What's a tip or piece of advice you've got for new students or family members related to money, finances, et cetera, as they transition to UNCG?
Definitely. So as you're getting here, this might be the first time you're really having to play around with money or be critical about money. My tip would be to get someone involved with that, whether that's a family member or a friend or whatever. Like, tell somebody about the financial goals that you're setting or the budgets you've set for yourself or how much you want to save, whatever it is that you're wanting to do with your money. Set a goal, set something with it, and tell somebody about it. It's an easy way to keep you accountable to it. You know, kind of get some other people involved. They might check in on you, see how it's going. Have you been sticking to your budget? That is the most important tip I could give, is to get somebody else involved. It'll help you stay on track with what you want to do.
Yes, start early, plan often. Go ahead, Augustine.
Yeah, I was going to say, Melissa did a very good tip. Also, just be smart. Something that I do personally is I have a budget planner. I plan out everything that I have. So I need $60 in gas. I have my title registration coming up, put that in there, groceries, just have a little planner and try to just plan everything out. So you can see how much money you have left, how much you need to spend, how much you need a budget. If you need to cut in free time, like going to the movies, cut that to pay for gas, then you need to do that. But just try to be smart. Know your priorities, know what your secondary options are, your free time. So just plan it out. That's a good option that I do.
I can see Deborah so proud, so happy there, clapping her hands with making that budget. Yajide, I'm going to come to you. So students, want to look for jobs, but not sure where to start. What events or resources or anything that you all do for students to help them find jobs on campus?
So Career and Professional Development does hold career fairs. We have a part-time fair coming up shortly after school starts. I think it's at the end of August or beginning of September. And then we'll have a larger career fair for full-time positions as well as part-time positions. And that'll be in September, October. The dates are not in solid yet, but they will be sent out to you via our team and messaging. Our career coaches send those out individually as well. So I encourage students to please contact Career and Professional Development, make that first point of contact so that we can keep you up to date with all of our services and opportunities that we have for you to engage with us, both with professional development and with job opportunities.
And my tip, even though no one's asked for it, is be sure you're checking your UNCG emails. That's when you're going to go out with deadlines, the payment deadlines, if you owe money, if you need to sign a check for campus events, for financial literacy workshops that may be going on, meal plan deadlines, all those things. So be sure you're checking UNCG email early and often. I know we all get a lot of emails, so just be sure you're checking them, responding to them, acknowledging what's going on here. It looks like I just got word that we got another question coming in. So Jennifer, I'm going to turn to you really quickly. What's just the tip that you have for students and families related to payment plans, finances, money, etc. that you just want to share with the group?
As the other said, just be smart. You know your budget better than anyone else. So if you need a payment plan, you're spending $35 to do that. If you can pay it in full, get it out of the way, you have the rest of the semester to go. Of course, you're only paying for the fall semester now. We'll bill the spring, and November, December is typically when it's due. So get on track, for the fall semester. Once you get through the fall, you're going to be a pro in how you're going to deal with it in the future. Of course, anytime you have questions, come see us, call us, email us. We're happy to help you, guide you through this semester.
So Yajide, I'm coming back to you for a question. So is it easy for a freshman with a disability already registered with ORS able to find a part-time job on campus?
Well, finding a job is ever really easy. There are, so much competition out there, but we do have services available. If you're already registered with ORS, that's great. They do assist students with finding potential jobs. And we have Handshake is totally digital. So even if you can't make it in person to a career fair, we also have the virtual option available for you to engage in employment opportunities and with different employers as well. So you will definitely have that advantage and that alternate, pathway to finding job opportunities.
Yajide, where can folks go to reach out to anyone in your office, email account or anything that they can email and reach out if they need help?
Absolutely. So our main office line number is 336-334-5454. That you'll have two options when you call that number. You can reach the front desk or directly reach the student employment office. You can also reach out to the student employment office via email at seo@uncg.edu. And for career and professional development, it's careers, CAREERS, at uncg.edu.
So there's no shortage of job opportunities. Just be sure to reach out. If you're having difficulties not finding what you're looking for, the career and professional development team is here to help and ready to go. Deborah, as we're winding down, I know there's some things you wanted to mention as we wrapped up here related to financial aid, but some things to remind folks of.
Yeah, definitely. I mentioned earlier about the financial aid process is a yearly process. So make sure that you're following up on those application deadlines. The FAFSA opens every year on October 1st for the next academic year. If you get your application completed between October 1st and January 15th, you are considered a priority filer, which puts you in line for more of the available aid before it all runs out. And we also encourage you to check your UNCG email, as Austin indicated, a lot of information comes to you via your school email address. So once you've gotten your accounts set up, make sure you're following through, especially if you've applied for financial aid. That's where we're going to be sending most of the communications to you. So make sure you follow through on any requests for additional documentation or additional information, because until we get that file completed, we won't be able to offer you aid, or at least release the aid that has been offered. So we do need to make sure that's completed. The other thing I wanted to mention is we we definitely love hearing from you and love talking with you. The best ways of communicating with the financial aid office, by email is certainly, is a great way. You can also call us. As I said, our counselors are available by phone Monday through Friday from 9 to 4. If you desire to meet with someone face-to-face, we offer appointments, both face-to-face and virtual appointments. If you wake up one morning, you realize, oh, I really need to talk to someone, go ahead and sign up for an appointment. We have same-day appointments, so you can, you don't have to wait a week. We do have some same-day appointments available, but you do need to have an appointment to visit the office. So we just want to make sure that you're aware of that. We're happy to help you. We do have counselors available to work with you and help you resolve your issues and help you get through the process. I think that's it. Well, not it, but that's all I need to talk about right now. I have tons of stuff that we can talk about, but give us a call. We'll be happy to help you with whatever your questions are.
Awesome. As we're winding down, we did get another question while Deborah was speaking. Jennifer, is cash an acceptable form of payment?
Yes. In the cashier's office in person, we take cash, check, and money order. Mentioning payment methods, you can pay with a card or an electronic check online. There is a fee to use a card, but no fee to use the electronic check. So again, in the office, we take cash, check, and money order. No cards are accepted in the office.
Awesome. I'm going to, as we're winding down, I'll see if there's any more questions coming in, but I do want to just share my screen for a couple of reminders really quickly here as we wind down our time today. So our last Q&A is going to be this Friday, June 25th, from again at 12 o'clock, preparing for the fall, ready, set, go. So thinking about returning to campus with move-in, welcome events, getting ready for the first day of class. So if you're curious about those things, be sure to join us again this Friday. All of our Q&A videos are available on the Your First Year YouTube channel. Eventually, they'll be on the virtual store website at the end of June. At the end of June, so you can always come back and look at that as well. For students, if you haven't been to already, you will be in the coming days be added to the Canvas course where you can review this follow-up information for our parents and families. All this information for different departments is found on our virtual store Canvas course. And the last thing I want to share is just our contact information. So again, you've heard throughout all the different offices contact information, but if you're not exactly sure where to start, you can email us here and we can always direct you, CC you, and get you connected with any offices across campus. Again, there's that texting line 1-336-541-6939 where you can text us. Again, there's a link to that virtual store webpage where you can go look at all the materials from these different offices. I think all of them in some way, shape, or form have resources available there for you to look at. Again, follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, follow YFY. For all things kind of happening around the university, especially for new students in particular. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, see if any final questions came in before we wrap up our time here today. All right, I think we've got all of our questions answered. So thank you to our panelists for joining us this afternoon and spending their lunch hour with us. We hope you got your questions answered and you found this beneficial. But again, if you need some more help, just feel free to text us, email us, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. But otherwise, have a great rest of your day, and we look forward to seeing you at SOAR if we haven't done so already. Take care.